When a man loves you, it is not simply a matter of attraction or of preference. It's deeper, more intricate, woven into the very fabric of what it means to be human. It's an unfolding, a delicate yet powerful connection that arises when one person sees themselves in another, recognizing a piece of their own soul in another body. It is not a transaction, but rather a transformation. When a man truly loves you, he does not love you as an object to possess. Instead, he loves you as he might love a sunrise or a mountain peak. He doesn't claim ownership, he is simply in awe. In that love, he finds a rare moment of liberation from the habitual urge to define or control. In your presence, he learns to let go. He doesn't cling to who he thinks you are or what you might become, but accepts you as you are in this very moment, because he is alive in this moment too. We often get caught up in thinking love is a set of gestures or behaviors. We assume that love is proved by actions or secured by promises. But real love exists in the spaces between. It's in the quiet attention, the undivided presence. When a man loves you, he is with you in a way that transcends words and declarations. He doesn't need to fill every silence. He knows that love is often most profound in the quiet moments when nothing needs to be said. What you must understand is that love is not a project. It is not something we achieve or complete. It's a garden, an ecosystem, and each person within it is an integral part of its balance. Just as a tree does not attempt to grow the way another tree does, a man who loves you doesn't seek to change you, to shape you according to his own designs. Instead, he wants only to see you blossom as you are. He finds joy not in reshaping you, but in witnessing your growth, your unfolding. And to love, in its truest form, is to embrace mystery. When a man loves you, he doesn't need to dissect or analyze who you are. He knows that love is about leaving room for wonder, about celebrating the mystery of another person. This is why real love doesn't seek resolution. It doesn't need a final answer. It lives within the questions, in the simple, beautiful recognition that some things are beyond understanding. True love is not a promise of permanence. It's not a promise that he will be the same, or you will be the same, a year from now or 10 years from now. In fact, love is a willingness to meet each other anew, every day, to let go of yesterday's version of who we were. This kind of love knows that to love someone deeply is to accept the inevitability of change, to accept the unknown, to walk the path without needing to know its destination. And so when a man loves you, he invites you to walk beside him, not as a guide nor as a follower, but as a companion on a journey that neither of you can fully predict. He recognizes that love is not the destination, but the path itself, the journey you take together with all its surprises, its detours, and its discoveries. When a man loves you, it isn't merely about showing admiration, nor is it an attempt to make you someone he envisions or expects you to be. Real love is about seeing you as you truly are and embracing you in each moment, without the urge to change or mold you. And true acceptance in love is a rare and profound experience because it calls for an open heart and a level of presence that goes beyond routine acts of affection. Love in this sense is not conditional on meeting certain standards or fitting an ideal. It is a presence and acceptance that say, I see you, I honor you, and I'm here with you just as you are. It's as though in seeing each other, both partners say yes to the reality of each other's existence. This acceptance is a silent affirmation that goes deeper than words or gestures. When a man loves you in this way, he doesn't need you to prove yourself, nor does he wait for you to become someone else. His love isn't about constantly setting goals for who you should become, nor is it about mapping out the relationship's future. Instead, it's about being fully with you in each moment, appreciating the reality of who you are and respecting the person you are becoming, no matter how that might look. His love is a type of open space that allows you to evolve without fear of judgment. This kind of presence is a rare gift, a type of acceptance that can only exist when someone is willing to see and embrace another person entirely, without the influence of past expectations or future anxieties. This presence doesn't imply passivity, rather, it involves an active awareness, a kind of alertness that allows him to see beyond his own needs or fears. In this state, he can simply be with you, without analyzing or dissecting who you are. The natural tendency is to categorize and understand others through labels and assumptions. But true love recognizes that these labels can't capture the full essence of a person. When a man loves you deeply, he is willing to let go of the need to label and define you, allowing both of you to experience a more profound connection. This presence means he doesn't just see a reflection of his own desires or ideas in you, but instead appreciates you as a unique being. Such love also reflects a quality of patience, a willingness to meet you at your own pace and in your own rhythm. There's no rush to get to the next step or a push to fulfill preconceived milestones. He understands that love isn't a race. It doesn't require that you constantly move forward in order to prove something. He loves you as you are today, in this moment, not as a projection of who you might be tomorrow. This is the beauty of acceptance. It allows each person the freedom to be where they are without forcing them to be somewhere else. When love doesn't demand change or improvement, but rather embraces the moment fully, it cultivates a sense of calm and openness, a feeling that each partner can simply breathe and exist in the presence of the other. This acceptance is also an invitation to be authentic. When you feel loved and accepted as you are, it creates a space where you feel safe enough to let down your guard, to drop the masks, and to reveal your true self without fear. And in doing so, a profound intimacy arises not because you're performing or trying to meet an ideal, but because you're simply being real. Love becomes a mirror, allowing you to see yourself more clearly through the other person's eyes. And when that reflection is one of acceptance and kindness, you naturally feel a deeper bond, a shared connection that is beyond superficial attraction. There is a unique sense of freedom in knowing that you are seen for all that you are, even the parts that you might sometimes hide from yourself. In such moments, vulnerability becomes a strength, and honesty becomes a foundation on which love can grow. This kind of presence and acceptance requires both partners to be fully awake to each other. It requires each person to set aside their own agendas, at least for a moment, to see the other as a mystery rather than as a problem to be solved. There's no pressure to perform, no need to say or do things just to please the other person. Love in this form exists in a space where the future and the past become less important, where each moment holds everything that is needed. It allows both partners to experience a kind of freedom within the relationship that is often absent when love is conditional. This freedom, paradoxically, often draws people closer because it is rooted in respect and in trust. When you experience love as acceptance and presence, you understand that it is not fragile or fleeting. It does not depend on superficial things, but on something deeper and more enduring. It's as though the two of you are standing on the edge of something infinite, recognizing that the connection is not bound by expectations or timelines. When love arises from this place, it doesn't lose itself in worries or demands, but instead remains steady and strong. It is a love that has the courage to be without needing to possess or confine. And in that love, each partner finds a greater sense of peace, knowing that they are exactly where they need to be. When a man loves you, it isn't just about what he knows about you, but about what he is willing to explore, to uncover, and to marvel at within you. Love, in its truest form, is a celebration of mystery, an acknowledgement that each person is more than what can be understood, that there is always something deeper to discover. It is an embrace of the unknown, a willingness to surrender to the unfolding of who the other person is, without the need for complete understanding or control. At the core of this celebration is an acceptance that people are not puzzles to be solved, but complex, ever-evolving beings. There is no final, complete version of you to capture. Instead, love allows you to be in the process of becoming, of transforming, of revealing yourself in different ways over time. When a man loves you with this sense of mystery, he is not trying to pin you down to a single version of yourself. He doesn't expect you to conform to a set of ideals or to remain the same as the years go by. Instead, he sees you as a living, breathing story that is continuously being written, and he celebrates every chapter, every plot twist, and every moment of change. In this form of love, there is a sense of wonder. He recognizes that there is always more to you than what meets the eye, that the depth of your character and the richness of your inner world are inexhaustible. No matter how long he knows you, there will always be layers to peel back, layers that reveal more of your complexity, your experiences, your dreams, and your fears. Love, in this sense, is a kind of constant discovery. Every conversation, every quiet moment, becomes an opportunity to delve deeper, to learn more about the person you are and the person you are becoming. This celebration of mystery also frees both people from the need to control or predict the relationship. When love is a celebration of mystery, there is no roadmap, no set of guidelines that determines how the connection will unfold. There is an openness to whatever happens next. Both partners are willing to let go of the illusion of certainty and embrace the unpredictable nature of life and love. This doesn't mean a lack of care or investment, rather. It means a deep trust in the natural flow of things. They trust that, regardless of what comes, the love they share will adapt, grow, and evolve in unexpected and beautiful ways. A love that celebrates mystery understands that there is beauty in the unknown. It allows for surprises, for the unexpected moments that bring joy, insight, and connection. When a man loves you in this way, he does not need to dissect every action or word, trying to figure out what it means or how to control it. He doesn't see your quirks or idiosyncrasies as problems to fix, rather. He views them as fascinating parts of you, little clues that add depth and intrigue to the whole picture. These moments of discovery, whether they are big revelations or small, seemingly insignificant details, become the fabric of the relationship. They are the things that make it rich, textured, and unique. In this love, there is no pressure to fit into a predefined narrative. Instead, both partners are free to be themselves, to express themselves in ways that feel authentic in the moment, without worrying about how those expressions fit into an idealized version of the relationship. This freedom is exhilarating because it means that the relationship is not bound by the need to be predictable. There is room for creativity, for exploration, and for the spontaneous beauty that arises when both people are willing to step into the unknown, not with fear, but with curiosity. The celebration of mystery also involves a recognition that we cannot fully understand or control the other person. No matter how deeply you know someone, there will always be aspects of them that are beyond your comprehension. This doesn't mean there is something wrong or distant. It means that each person is an infinite well of experiences, emotions, thoughts, and dreams that cannot be fully grasped by another. When a man loves you with this awareness, he doesn't try to contain you within the boundaries of his understanding. He lets you be more than what he can know. And in doing so, he opens himself up to a richer, fuller connection. Love, in this context, is about respecting the mystery of the other person, accepting that there are parts of them that will always remain beyond reach, and seeing that as something to be cherished rather than feared. There is also an inherent humility in this kind of love. To truly celebrate the mystery of another person requires the recognition that no one is fully knowable. It requires a willingness to accept that we are all limited in our perceptions and understandings. It requires a deep respect for the other person as a living mystery that exists beyond the limits of our own awareness. This humility allows love to thrive because it creates an openness that is not bound by judgment or expectations. There is no need for constant analysis or critique, but rather a genuine curiosity about who the other person is in this moment, and who they will be in the next. This allows love to remain fresh and alive, full of possibility and discovery. Ultimately, when a man loves you as a celebration of mystery, he embraces the idea that love is not about finding all the answers, but about living with the questions. He accepts that together you can explore and evolve in ways that neither of you could predict. There is no final destination, no point at which the mystery is solved. Love, in this sense, is an ongoing adventure, one where the joy lies not in the certainty of knowing, but in the wonder of continually discovering what lies beneath the surface. When a man loves you, it is not with the expectation that you will reach some final, perfect place together. Love in its purest form is not a destination, it is a journey, one that unfolds day by day, moment by moment. It is not a point on a map to be reached, but rather a path that is walked together, sometimes with certainty, sometimes with uncertainty, but always with the intention of exploring and experiencing life alongside each other. In this journey there is no fixed end, no conclusive arrival. Instead, there is the constant unfolding of shared experiences, personal growth, and mutual discovery. To understand love as a journey is to recognize that both people involved are always changing, evolving, and becoming. There is no final version of who you are or who he is, because love is a fluid and dynamic force that moves with the seasons of life. It is not static, but rather a living, breathing force that grows and changes as you both do. Love is shaped by the experiences you have together, by the challenges you face, and by the quiet moments of connection that pass between you. It's an ongoing process that is ever expanding, not a neatly wrapped package that you can open and put away when you feel it's complete. When a man loves you with this understanding, he is not solely focused on a particular outcome. He is not obsessed with the idea of achieving some milestone, like marriage, children, or a certain life stage as the ultimate sign of love's success. Instead, he embraces the unknowns of the relationship, trusting that love will evolve naturally. There is an openness to whatever the future holds without forcing any particular version of it into being. Love is a continual exploration of what it means to be with each other in the present, even as both of you walk your separate paths in the world. This understanding also frees both people from the pressure to be perfect when love is seen as a journey. There is no need to have everything figured out. Mistakes are not failures, but part of the natural course of learning and growing together. The journey of love allows space for imperfections, misunderstandings, and moments of discomfort. These are not roadblocks, but opportunities to understand each other more deeply. There is no expectation of perfection, because love is not a goal to be attained. It is a constant unfolding that includes the full spectrum of human experience, joy, sorrow, conflict, and resolution. The beauty of this journey lies in the willingness to keep walking together, regardless of the obstacles that arise. The journey of love also means that you are both constantly discovering new things about each other. As people grow and change, so too do relationships. There will be parts of each other that remain hidden at first, aspects of your personality or dreams that take time to surface. But in the course of the journey, these parts are revealed, and with each new discovery, the relationship deepens. It's not a matter of rushing to uncover everything at once, but of allowing the relationship to unfold at its own pace, with room for surprises. Every moment shared is an opportunity to see each other in a new light, and every chapter brings with it a new understanding of who you are together. When a man loves you as a journey, there is a deep acceptance of the fluid nature of life. He doesn't expect you to stay the same person you were when you first met. He knows that you will change over time, just as he will, and he loves you not for who you are now, but for who you are becoming. He recognizes that love is not about stasis or permanence, but about adapting and evolving together. The connection you share is not rooted in the idea of being fixed or unchanging, but in the mutual willingness to continue growing both individually and as a pair. Love is not about maintaining a static image of each other, but about embracing the constant flow of life with all its twists and turns. This journey also involves a shared sense of purpose, not necessarily in the traditional sense of having a grand, predetermined plan, but in the sense of walking together through life with intention. It means being there for each other, even when the road is unclear, and offering support when one of you falters. It is about creating a bond where both partners feel empowered to pursue their individual passions and ambitions, while also remaining anchored to the relationship. In this journey, each person's path is honored and celebrated, but the journey together remains the focus. It is a partnership that allows for both personal fulfillment and shared growth. Understanding love as a journey requires a sense of patience and faith. It demands that both partners accept that they cannot control the direction or pace of the relationship. The only certainty is the commitment to walk together through the uncertainty, the challenges, and the joys. It is about having faith that the relationship will unfold in its own time, with its own rhythm, and that no matter where it leads, the journey itself will have been worth it. The beauty of love lies not in reaching a particular point, but in the shared experience of the journey itself. Each step taken together, each conversation, each laugh, and each moment of connection is what makes the journey rich and meaningful. And so when a man loves you as a journey, he recognizes that love is not something to be obtained, but something to be experienced. It is the shared walk through life, not a destination to reach, but a path that is meaningful in itself. Each moment is an exploration, an adventure, and an unfolding that is deeply personal, yet beautifully shared. The destination, if it ever exists, is not a place, but a deeper connection, a bond that grows stronger as you continue to walk together, hand in hand, through the twists and turns of life.